rain practice. Just paying attention to how we're sitting. Sitting in a posture that's comfortable but supports our intention to carry out this practice. Reflecting on your intention. An intention that may be about cultivating kindness to self and compassion to self. Cultivating an attitude of acceptance. And reflecting on the motivation that drives that, the why. The motivation that might be around your greater good, your well-being, the benefits that you may gain from taking part in this practice today. And then just settling the mind. Finding where the breath enters and leaves the body. And regulating the breath in whatever way works best for you. And that might be counting your breath in and counting your breath out, so that your in-breath and your out-breath are about the same length. Or it might be saying a phrase, such as when you breathe in, I know I'm breathing in, and as you breathe out, I know I'm breathing out. And you might notice lots of thoughts buzzing up in your mind. We're not trying to get rid of those thoughts or change them in any way. We're just turning towards our breath and counting or saying the phrase. And not interfering with the thoughts in any way. Just allowing the mind to settle by focusing on your breath. And perhaps letting go of counting now and focusing a little bit more on your out breath. Noticing what happens in your body as you breathe out and let go of breath. What sensation do you notice in your body as you let go of breath? And then noticing any other sensations in your body. Might be sensations of feeling cold or warm, or uncomfortable, or tight, or tense. Just what do you notice in this moment? And then just beginning to notice the contact points between the body and what you're sitting on. You might notice a sense of weight in your body, or you might just notice pressure in the contact points between your seat and what you're sitting on, and between your feet and the ground. And just notice that what you're sitting on and the ground is supporting you unconditionally. A sense of sinking into that contact, knowing that it will support you. And then a sense of your whole body resting in this moment. With nothing in particular to do. But just rest. Your mind resting in your body as your body rests on the ground. Aware that there might be thoughts arising and displaying and liberating. There might be sensations in the body. There might be emotions. But just resting in an awareness of all of these things without any need to interfere with them or change them in any way. And if you notice your mind's getting involved, maybe thinking, or with stories, or even with attitudes about whether you're doing this right or not, noticing that and just coming back to the support of breath or sound, and just resting gently on this support. Awareness of breath moving in the body, while holding all this in your awareness, or just of the sounds that you notice around you, inside the room or outside the room. And then as we go into the rain part of the exercise, bring into mind a difficult thought or emotion that is persistently knocking at the door of your internal guest house. Something that might just be niggling there. Perhaps not something that's overwhelming, but just something that is a difficulty that you are aware of. And the first part of the rain exercise is to recognise what this emotion or difficulty is, and to name it. A bit like opening the door and acknowledging this guest that wants to come in. This emotion or difficulty that wants to be recognised and heard and seen. Perhaps an emotion or difficulty that has been on the edge of your awareness for a long time. And just allowing that difficulty or emotion to come in. So naming it, recognising it. Allowing it space. And if this feels overwhelming at any time, just go back to the mindfulness support of breath or sound. An awareness of your body resting in contact with the ground. And the next step of rain is allow. Allowing this emotion or difficulty to be present, this emotion or difficulty that you've been able to name. It's a bit like welcoming a guest into your guest house and inviting them to have a seat. Allowing this difficulty or emotion to be present in your awareness. And again, looking after yourself with kindness. That if you notice any really strong sensations in the body or a sense of being overwhelmed, coming back to your body grounded, to your mindful support of breath or sound. And when you feel able, just allowing again this emotion or difficulty to be present. To a degree that you feel comfortable with. And then beginning to pay some intimate attention. The eye of rain. Just bringing the focus of your attention to how it is to recognise and allow this emotion or difficulty to be present. And making it the focus of your mindfulness practice. Bringing your attention to where this emotion or difficulty is held within the body. And notice any sensations that are coming up in your body as you pay attention to this emotion or difficulty. You might notice something in your belly or in your chest. You might notice tightness or heat. Whatever you notice is your experience of how this emotion or difficulty presents in your body. And you might notice a resistance to the sensations, or maybe a numbness or a disconnect. Just noticing whatever your experience is. With mindfulness and acceptance, this is your experience. And if at any time it feels too much or overwhelming, go back to your mindfulness support of breath or sound. And then bringing to your attention any feelings or emotions connected with this experience. There's the primary emotion, the difficulty that you brought to mind, but then noticing if there's any other emotions, maybe a constellation of feelings around that, or layers of feelings, other feelings that are emotions that are coming up as part of this experience. Just meeting these feelings, just noticing them. What else is there? And meeting them with mindfulness and acceptance. This is my experience in this moment. And again, come back to your support of breath or sound at any time that you feel that would be helpful. And then notice if there's any thoughts or stories or beliefs that might be around this presenting emotion or difficulty. And almost kind of taking a step back and observing them. Maybe beliefs that you've held for a long time. Are they one-sided? Are they true? Are they permanent? Are they changing? So just noticing the kinds of thoughts and stories and beliefs that are associated with this difficulty or emotion. And then notice what else is going on for you just now. How are you relating to this experience? Are you identifying with it as who you are, clinging to it, or seeing it as permanent, contracting around it? What do you notice is going on for you just now? And as we enter the last phase of rain, just really inquiring, is it who I really am, or just an experience that's moving through me? Perhaps zooming out and observing your whole experience. So that you may see the presenting emotion or difficulty as part of who you are, but noticing other parts that are there as well. Seeing this emotion or difficulty as a guest moving through your internal guest house or awareness. And again, coming back to the mindfulness support of breath or sound, of grounding. Just observing your whole sense of self. And if this has been a moment that feels like a moment of suffering or difficulty, perhaps just bringing your hand in a gesture of kindness. Of warmth, of connecting, to support yourself, to bring some kindness. And I'll just end with reading the poem again. The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.